We just thought we'd do a quick check-in, let you guys know how we're doing, how everything's been for us. Just give update on kind of what it's been like so far.
Yeah, being postpartum, what is it, like almost 4 weeks now? So um, physically, I feel like, just, from my perspective, like I feel physically okay now. Like I feel fine. Like I'm pretty much, healed and in all the places that need to be healed. But more so like on a mental like track, like I feel that we're dealing with a lot of stress and anxiety. More so myself. Like I just feel very like triggered by certain things and certain people, and having a sick baby isn't something that you necessarily like come into like your labor and you're dealing with it. We did have, you know 6 months.
Yeah, we know, what, 24 weeks?
Yeah, we knew at 24 weeks that our baby was going to need heart surgery. We knew that she had HLHS, but we weren't like dealing with it on a day-to-day basis until she was actually here. um, so now that she's in the hospital, she's getting the help she needs. It's more so kind of just dealing with uh, and trying to find those coping skills, and dealing with the triggers that people in our lives are kind of putting on us. Do you want to talk about your stuff, or
Go ahead, since
no?
you kind of were already
Okay.
starting.
So it's very personal, but when you have a sick baby in the hospital, like Olivia hasn't had any visitors besides us. We're the only two people allowed to see her at Phoenix Children's Hospital. So thankfully, we were able to get access to a live video feed that shows in her room. And that's been really nice to share with our friends and family who are most interested, but it's also been a trigger. And it's also been very stressful because certain family members who are overly giving us unsolicited advice or bossy, or, kind of create more stress that we need right now because we're already dealing with so much. So, advice for any parents who have a sick baby going to Phoenix Children's Hospital or any hospital, if they do give you guys access, just kind of be mindful of who you share that with, because it might be more stressful for you in the end.
You have a lot of people that are
Yeah.
not in the hospital, or not there every day. They don't know what's going on. They
Yeah.
may be coming in with good intentions, but it's coming from a place of their experiences, which is completely different than the experience you'll be dealing with in the
Mm-hmm.
hospital. And this is also during COVID. If you're watching this years from now,
Right.
COVID-19, it's 2022, so it depends on, obviously, things may be changing in the future, hopefully, or family would just be able to come in and visit, and then after that, it's a private thing between you and your kid.
Yeah, and we want our family members to visit Olivia because we feel like the more interaction she has with people, the better it'll be for her recovery. It's really hard on us, but we're there every single day. We do take 1 to 2 days a week, or yeah, per week off. Not off, but just like
Checking on our house,
we have to check
getting
in at
some
our
errands
house.
done.
They call it self-care at the hospital. Take a self-care day. When you're in the NICU at Phoenix Children's Hospital, which Olivia was in up until yesterday, right? Yesterday they moved her to the East Wing, which is kind of the recovery track side,
Right.
where she's
Step down program.
a step down program. Yeah, so she's recovering very quickly, and she's such a fighter, and we're so proud of her. But before that, you kind of feel like if you're there every day in the NICU, it's very scary for parents. It's this very scary place where you hear other family members going through so much with their babies, and they're crying, and
Yeah, there's alarms that go off
yeah.
constantly, whether it's yours or another kid. You hear, parents are dealing with devastating news, and you're hearing their trauma.
You hear the family members come in to see their, brother or sister or their daughter, their grandchild for the last time. And it's super sad. It's very traumatizing, and they tell you beforehand, like, don't.
They warn you not to spend too much time there because you
try
will
to
develop
take time
PTSD.
away. Yeah. And I think that's kind of like what I'm dealing with right now, is just But thankfully, she's not on that side
No,
anymore.
she's doing amazing, and yeah, she was luckily able to leave there. Now where she is the step down unit, and it's a lot quieter.
Hmm.
Everyone there is on the recovery path
Yeah.
instead of the medical path, and so
So we're very lucky.
yeah, everyone there is usually doing better every day, and there's positive, atmosphere. People are happy. We've seen little bikes and toys and video games and
They
stuff
have
around for kids.
pet therapy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's a little happier environment, which I think helps.
So they've moved Olivia's to that room, and they just moved her again to another room today. So it's kind of
In the
like
same area.
it's in the same floor, the same area. It's just a couple rooms down from where she was. But yeah, it's very important to not hold all of your stress and anxiety inside. And the hospital does offer psychologists to come talk to you a couple times a week. So we've actually been very fortunate to speak with that person. And it is emotional, but my advice is don't hold anything in. You already feel like stress, and you feel guilty for what's happening to your child, and you feel, as first time parents, like this, we did not expect this to happen. And there's just so many emotions, and it's all crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot. So having the support systems, talking to the psychologists, they can get counseling if that's what you need. And this is Phoenix Children's Hospital.
Right.
But obviously every hospital, depending on
different.
which state you're in, there's differences, but most of them will offer some sort of counseling and support. Social workers are really important to get connected to. We've got a lot of help with getting financial supports. There's a lot of, outside of the medical cost, you're away from your home, which is where most of your stuff is, so you end up eating out a lot more than you'd like.
Yeah, there's a lot of daily costs that accumulate, and it's been almost 4 weeks. Yeah, fuel to drive back and forth. Even if we're just driving back to our house 3 times a week, it's still costly.
Just all your daily supplies you don't realize you need.
So advice for parents: if you get access to apply for certain financial programs, apply to everything you can.
Yeah.
Everything that, even if you're not going to qualify, just apply for it, because you may qualify later. We just got a $4,000 hospital bill in the mail, and we think it's an insurance mistake, but hopefully
and those will start stressing you out once you start getting those as well. So,
and just based on our income alone, we could be looking at $40,000 possibly.
That's one of the programs where they can protect you from if your insurance didn't pick up the majority of the bill, but there's a liability amount that you still cover. And yeah, based on our income, we'd owe $40,000 before it would even take effect.
Right.
Which obviously would be a devastating amount of money. So.
But we're kind of thinking that our insurance is going to cover it. So thankfully, our employers, we have amazing insurance.
We'll talk finances once we have more info.
So hopefully that won't be out of pocket. But yeah, any other advice or triggers or anything like that?
Just take it one day at a time. That's what we're doing.
We've lost track of all time, though, honestly. I don't even know what
I don't know how many weeks it's been. I definitely don't know what day it is.
Right. We are taking it day by day, and, I have to check my phone every time because I am pumping for Olivia for breast milk, and I don't even know what the dates are until I look at my phone to write it down on her little, sheet that I need to give, and for the date and time, it's just, but take it day by day, talk to each other, don't argue,
Yeah, if you're a couple, going through it, definitely rely on each other. You're both going through the same thing. Understand you can feel really alone, so realizing that other person is going through it with you. If you have support groups online, I know she's found people online through Facebook
to talk to who've been through the experience,
and they're there going through the same thing at the same time. So there's people you can even run into in the hospital, talk to. So just finding those support systems, and then you have, if family's there that's just providing support. It's all about finding those people that are only gonna give you positive feedback, positive support. no opinions, no
Yeah,
critiques, no nothing like
critical-
that.
Yeah.
Because none of that's helpful.
Mm-mm.
And we already get plenty of actual information from medical professionals on
Mhm.
a regular daily basis. Some of the most experienced surgeons in the world, amazing nurses.
Mhm.
We have constant help on that end, but getting that just support system is really important, and knowing which people are that support and which ones aren't.
Makes a huge difference. Yeah. So just keep those people who you know aren't going to be critical, and if you have to be mean to your family, be mean to your family. You have to be brutally honest with them and say you're not helping. And if you have to pull their access, pull their access. That's what we've had to do, and unfortunately, people just need to grow up and be adults and realize that this is a very unique situation that we're dealing with, and not every parent is the same. Everyone's different.
Yeah.
There's no best way to be a parent.
Even two kids with the same condition could be going through drastically
Totally
different paths.
different surgeries.
We know families there that are
Mhm.
dealing with a completely different direction their kid went, yet we
Mhm.
all kind of started in the same place.
Right.
So it's, even if you have experienced this, you may not have the same opinion or judgment as the next person. So
Exactly.
just if you are on the other side of things and you're providing support to someone going through this, is just being there for them.
Right.
What can I do for you? And that's it. That's all they
And
need.
when you say to someone, especially parents of sick kids, what can I do for you? Don't back out of anything they ask you to do, especially when it's like, they can't do it. If they can't do something and they ask you to do it, do it. Don't back out. Don't say, sorry, I can't do it today. That's kind of a big...
Basically, don't offer something if you're not able to help.
Exactly. If you can't follow through, don't even offer in the beginning, because we may rely on that, and then it's taken away, and that's not helping. So, yeah, it's a big letdown.
Yeah, we just
be supportive and don't make false promises.
That's what we just wanted to kind of make an update, talk to you guys, and I think we haven't really just talked about us, because you kind of forget about yourself when you're in all this. You're so focused on your child that you forget that self-care. You forget to just deal with it. And so we decided this would be a good way to update everyone, as well as it's kind of a little therapy for ourselves.
Yeah. So. On our self-care day.
But we'll continue to make regular little quick updates in the hospital with Olivia, just show how everything's been going. But
and if there's anything that you want to see or have questions about, let us know. We'll do our best to make a video about it, or
Sure. We got a website. We got all these videos, and we can film or put info for anything that anyone's interested. So if you're not family and you're seeing this and you're interested and want to know something, feel free to add that too. And of course, anyone in our family which is the primary reason we're making these right now, is to just let us know. We can happily show you what's going on or update you on things. But yeah, a lot's going on, so sometimes we just forget to do things or forget to upload or things like that. So
yep, it's crazy times with a sick baby, and thankfully she's on the recovery path, and she should be home hopefully before we know it. We're hoping in at least 3-4 weeks, hopefully. But yeah, we'll continue to give updates on Olivia's health and do our little vlogs and everything. But let us know if you have any questions.
Thank you.
Bye.